Hello, let's do Wordle for Tuesday, February 17th. Let's play. And yesterday we spun the wheel. It said to start with steel. A very, very strong start. All right, we get the S and we get the A, both in place. SH, SP, SN. What are we doing? I'm wondering if it's like vowel here with an A there. Or is it like an OA type dealy or IA? I don't really like the look of OA. We could do something like squad. Those SQs are always hard to think of, but I don't know if that's a good one to guess second. We could do scrap. I think scrap gets some good letters. Let's try that. All right, well, all gray. So squad is looking better and better. But is there like an SIA or SOA, SUA? It seems kind of hard. You know what? I'm gonna kick myself if I don't guess squad, and that was the answer. So we're gonna try squad. Oh my God, I could have added 2 again. What I mean by that is recently I also managed to avoid a 2. It was like the first word I thought of. But I really don't think squad was going to be a good second guess. After scrap had these gray, though, it seemed like we were quite limited. Because we couldn't do SC, couldn't do SP. All right, cool. Well, let's check with the bot. I guess before we check with the bot, we're going to spin the wheel. But then we will check with the bot and see how we did. All right. Big wheel being spun here. We've got Gamer, suggested by Magic Madness. So if you would like to follow along, then tomorrow we'll be starting with Gamer. All right. Well, let's do some analysis here. So the answer was squad. I do think squad's a repeat, but I'm not entirely sure. We started with steel. Is it a scram or scrap or sumac? Oh, I did not think of sumac. That's for sure. Scrap was one of the top guesses then. And after that, it was only squab or squad. So I think squad was a completely reasonable guess for guess 3, considering there are only 2 of the words left. So also sagos, skuas, sodas, and sofas. We don't do plurals though. All right. Don't do plurals is very, very shorthand for a specific way that we don't end in S. But anyway, most words that end in S were removed. Most, not all. All right. So let's see how tails compares. It's an anagram, but they're yellow. So it says scamp instead of scrap. And after scamp, we're actually down to Shiva. Whoa, why would that be accepted? Sonar, squab, squad, and sugar. So it's actually saying go for squad or squab because they get each other. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to tell a difference between them because there's no B or D to tell them apart in the other words. So it has a 50-50 to get it in 3 or 4. All right. And honestly, squad is a more common word than squab, so probably leaning towards getting in the 3. All right, we already did steel, so we're going to do a DU, the most common starting word. It gets the D, which is helpful, but I still think it's going to be a few guesses here. Datum, and then we could do like guard and then squad, or we could technically get squad in 3. That seems hard to think of. All right, and we got audio, which also gets the D. Audio loves it when there's a D. All right, we're going to get it in 3. We're going to go datum, squad. Again, hard to think of, though. All right, stare, another common start. We get the S and the A again, so we get salvo, and then scuba, and then squad. That's fun, scuba. Scuba gear. All right, trace tries to get in 2. I doubt it does today. All right, we get salad, and then squad gets it in 3. And finally, clasp is what the official bot starts with in hard mode. We get the A and the S, we go taser, and then adios, and then squad. Adios is a fun one. Why do all the vowel heavy words have a D in them? All right. Well, let's analyze with the official bot now. I'm going to grab my screenshot. Okay. Squad. All right. Did I beat the bot? Give me a 99 skill. I really like my guesses. 68 luck, 3 steps. So steel, it gives a 91 skill for steel. We have 2,117 people starting with steel. Sonar being the most common follow-up, followed by scrap, which is what it suggests. Spray, Scram, Squad. So we got 9% getting it in 2. Sugar, Sumac, Squab, Sudan, Sprag. Ooh, what's Sprag? All right. I've heard of Sprig, but not Sprag. And then Squad, I had 2 options to pick one. I picked the right one. 99 skill, 74 luck. All right, can't do much better than that. It goes Clasp, Taser, Audio, Squad. Is the exact same solve. All right. 0.3% shooter rate there. Then 3.8%. Wow, Squad actually being top second guess is interesting. 34.5, 73.8, 93.4, 98.9. So slightly under 99% solve rate here for Squad. If you're losing on Squaw or Squab. Maybe Squid. All right, but people are figuring out that it has to be SQ mostly, even if they lose. It really narrows down quickly. Okay, let's refresh and check in regular mode. Oops, wrong one. All right. Give me a 94 skill. That's interesting. There's probably a word that makes it not a 50-50 on guess 3. So steel people are doing scrap, sonar. So scrap and sonar are swapped. Spray, scram, squad. 7% getting it into sugar, round, choir, Sudan, and bumpy. So I guess there's people who just do steel choir as their like 2-word start. Steel round as well. Steel bumpy. Bumpy is its suggestion. All right. It wanted a filler second. It didn't want to use the S and the A again. So scrap is probably up there if you're actually using the info. All right. And then squad gave me a 99 because there are 2 words left. All right. Slate curvy squad. Yeah, it goes. It doesn't with the S and the A already available. It for guess 2 it wants a filler if you're not playing hard mode. 0.4% cheater rate again. Again, 3.2% squad second. That's really interesting. 27.2%, 63.3%, 87.1%. Ooh, 96.9%. So much lower solve rate in regular mode. People losing again on squaw, squab, squat, and scuba. All right. Well, that's it for Wordle. How'd you do? If you'd like to watch the New York Times games, you can click at the end of the video. It'll take you right there. I also have a pinned comment with all the games I played today. And if you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.